All right, guys. Since I've owned the car, I've always had a stiff seat. So for Saturday warm up, I decided to put a soft seat in the cart. It worked for Miguel. Miguel has been running a stiff seat, has been complaining about the cart being tight. I've always run a stiff seat, but my issue is mid corner off. It just doesn't want to go. Like entry, cart feels really well, but then mid corner off, it just wants to get. It doesn't feel stuck. It just feels like it doesn't want to release like before. And this only happens on high speed corners. And guess what? Charlotte's all high speed. So Chris talked me into a soft seat to see if that would do the trick. So we left the same setup in we had the night before. All we did was put the seat in. We were going to try it out, but someone left the motor mount loose. My fault for not checking, so we're going to qualifying blind. I'm hoping to God that this seat works. What's up? Good morning and welcome back to our channel. This is day 2, the money day, the day that it all counts. We got qualifying, 2 heat races, warm up. I did not get out to warm up. Motor mount was left loose, my issue. And then good old Charlotte doesn't let me down. Last night they bust out my truck window and Matt's window. There's the stalls. He probably went fast. How did this morning go?
Dude, my other tire went flat.
Okay, so he's been having flat tire issues. I left the motor mount loose twice. So you'll be fast in qualifying.
Not if you look at historical data.
Yeah. Look at how this weekend's gone. We can only go up now.
Yeah.
So it's what? Last, second last. Oh, good. You give me the toe.
Wait, you're last?
Yeah, the motor mount.
Oh, okay.
So I'm last. That's what actually worked out the plan. I get the toe. I go 20th. He goes 25th. Halfway. Wow. We're getting after it. Let's get after it. So qualifying, I hate doing this in qualifying, but I was moving, I was hauling butt, and then I end up passing Todd into turn 1, which I hate doing. I came after and apologized. This is my fastest lap. I didn't get really good through 1 and 2, but you know the rest of the lap was really good. And then the seat. Let's talk about the seat. This is the first time that the cart feels like it springs off the corner hard. So I actually liked it a lot. I kept it in for the rest of the weekend. I never like soft seats because I'm a big guy and I flex the chassis a lot on my own. So I really don't need a seat to help me do that. So, but it actually worked. It felt great. You really notice it in the double lefts and the right-hander. The cart just wanted to go. In the high-speed section, it felt, better, but not, not great. But other than that, it was a good run, a good qualifying effort. I really thought this lap would be like the money lap, so I kept on it. I got really good through 1 and 2. I did look down at the funnel and saw that I pulled off a good lap the lap prior, and I didn't think it was going to be a good lap because I'm ending up passing in turn 1. But here, I'm up on the Alfano. I'm like, wow, I got another 3/10 just because of this draft I'm getting. It's going to be great. I thought I could pull off an amazing lap. But then when I got up to these double lefts to right-hander, I got held up a little bit. I used to time it perfectly. If I would have just, if it could have just been held back a little bit further and then not get cut up on this double left, it would have been a really, really good lap. But got to be happy. Without any warm-up practice, without knowing what the hell is going to happen, P5, I was through the moon. All right, qualifying's been in the books. It was a crazy qualifying session. I don't know how I pulled off that fast lap, but it got me P5 overall, a very stacked field. Miguel's been extremely loose, so we put some seat struts on. He's on track right now. Oh my God, he's making moves. Holy crap. Dude, this is awesome. I'm gonna go watch this race, guys. We're all, we're not giving up. We're always digging. We're always trying to find a little bit more in the end, but let's see if we can stay up front. That's the hardest part because this class is no joke, really freaking tough. Heat 1, starting P5, incredible. I'm up front. I'm running the dragon skin, so it's finicky at times sometimes, but the clutch engaged just fine, no issues. I walk away out of here with a great start in P4. And then right off the bat, I knew I might have been on the wrong gear when I hit the limiter. and they just keep walking. And I'm like, okay, this might have been an issue. So I was on a 353 at this time, and I probably should have gone to a 350, but I didn't know what the hell I was doing. So they get really far up, and here looking back at it, I probably should have passed Eric or made a move on Eric, because then he would have just pushed me to the lead, hoping for the best, but that's not what happened. I helped him back up. I did not want to fight. There's no reason to start fighting at first couple laps in. I just wanted to sit back and see what we could do. Just ride his back bumper, and hopefully just when he makes the moves, I can just follow him through him. That was the whole idea. Now, I'm going to get a penalty this race. The penalty is about to come up. When I make the move, I'm about a kart length, maybe 3/4 of a kart length back. And I was there at the apex. He never saw me. He comes down. We make wheel-to-wheel contact. And then from there on, the kart felt like crap. So here comes the move. Eric goes through. I go through with him. Ryan never sees me. I don't know how. I'm already there. If you don't see me, I know you can hear me. But that's what happened. Touching him, contact on me. From there on, every left-hander, the kart fell on his face. Did not know why. It felt like I was having a flat tire, and I ended up being really, really lucky this race. The tire, my right rear tire, actually de-beaded itself a little bit. And I usually don't run bead locks, but on my rears, I ran bead locks. If I didn't have the bead locks, it would be done. On the 484, this move, I thought that's when they came up. I thought this would be the penalty. I came in, I was up, I washed a little wide, tapped them, and then if anything, they could hand me a penalty for that, for hitting him. But no, it was for the move on Ryan. So, crap happens, I guess. If you touch someone, you get a penalty. But if they ram you off the track, like the next heat race, they get a good pat on the back. Good old boy. So with 2 laps to go, I'm hanging on for dear life. I don't even know how I'm making it. I came off the track with 6 PSI on the right rear, and just trying my best to hang on to 4th. Learning as much as I could from the front runners, just learning their line and seeing how they were running. I'm always trying to study, get a little bit quicker. James is about to get around me here. He definitely had a gear for the top end straightaway, and I'm able to stay on his back bumper and then just try to see how he takes these double lefts compared to me. You can see he runs it in deeper than I do. I back off from the double lefts and brake earlier, and I try to roll through it, and he drives it in a lot harder. So seeing that, noticed that I could probably drive the double lefts a little bit harder than I have been. I just been backing them up. I don't know why. I just felt better if I backed them up and then drove through them to get through them quicker. Really, it looked kind of good, but then I noticed that he would set up for that left right-hander better. He'll get over better, and here we would basically take the same turns and keep on the same line. I didn't have anything to pass him. I just hit the limiter. He'd pull away barely. We're basically on the same gear almost. He might have been half a tooth lower, but there is no way I could have made a move and just probably ruin a good result. So in the end, happy with where I finished. I crossed the line in P5, dropped down to P6. Not a big deal because of the penalty. But overall, good run, good showing. Kart was doing great, and extremely lucky to finish this race for sure. It could have been a lot worse. All right, this is the clip that everybody's been asking for. This is Chris's Legends race. It happens with 2 laps to go. It is an insane wreck. I do post it because I talked to the driver that wasn't involved in the accident. He said it was okay. As you can see right off the bat, the Legends can't get down the start. And you think that the Legends are clean racing? This is probably one of the craziest races you see. They get a good start. Chris, he was hesitant. Looking at it, he was really hesitant on his starts. He was just trying to get away clean, not get involved in the accidents. But in the first race, it bit him. In the second race, it doesn't bit him that bad. After we do the drivers, he was lifting a lot, noticing. But, he cleaned that up. And it was just trying to stay clean. That was his whole goal, is just make it through the whole weekend of staying clean, no accidents, trying to make moves when he could. Basically just trying to do the best he could. Here the 33 gets by him. He doesn't really force any of the issues. He was just driving smart, just trying to stay out of a harm's way, which was actually a really, really smart thing to do, especially being in the back. It is complete mayhem in the back. Racing in the front, they're all lined up nose to tail. In the back, everybody's just in dive bomb city. You can see here the 33 goes on the inside, pushes Tony wide. On the exit, Tony's not too happy about that move at all. As you can see there. But then they get going again. Tony ends up getting by Chris here. They just end up like battling it out back and forth. There was just this group right here was just every time I would look up, there was a pass being made. The 33 gets around the 48. The 48 gets a good run and then falls. Chris falls a little bit back. And it was just battling back and forth. Here we go. Chris, he's about to make the move. He's going to stick his nose inside the 48. And then he just doesn't really commit to the move. The 48 does a really good job of hanging around the outside. And then just carries the momentum on Chris. Chris gets a bad exit. And this is where Tony gets back by Chris. So overall, it was just about, this track is so momentum oriented. Like that if you make one little slight mistake, they can pounce on you. Just look at one little slight left or right, and it was gone. We're coming up here. Tony's bumper is, decided to check out. Chris couldn't even bump him to help him forward because there was no bumper to help forward. The bad thing was it's the pack. There's a pack of about six carts, right? 5 or 6 carts, and Tony doesn't know where's the black flag coming from, or who they're pointing the black flag. Now they have a whiteboard. They finally start putting a whiteboard up of like, hey, this is your number. This is who's getting a flag. But during that race, there was nothing of that sort. So they come around here, this left-hander, and you're gonna see this reaction. The 33 loses it. The 48 hits him, and Tony races his ham, sees at the last second. Bam. Insane. The crazy part to me is there's no red flag at all during this part. No red flag. I mean, there might be a lap to go. If that. So Chris gets in his cart and starts it back up. They finally throw the yellow flag. They're finally throwing a yellow flag after the leaders come back by. Since there's no red flag, Chris gets back on track. At this point, I think a red flag was warranted. I don't know. Let me know what your thoughts below are. But he did not get up until the race was over. 48 did not get up until the race was over. And you can see here, there are no other flags being waved. There's not even a full course yellow or nothing. So Chris finished his lap, and he ended up P23. That was the end of the race. Honestly, I think it was like the white flag when this accident happened. They could have just red flagged it. Now here in slow motion, this is insane. The 33 gets turned sideways. The 43 does. I'm guessing season, but it's such a late react. It's so fast. It happens so fast. Tony sees it, raises his hand up, but it's too late at this point in time. The 48 just hits him perfectly to cause this crazy flip. The insane part is he's still in the cart when the cart comes down on top of him. The cart, gets nailed by the cart, and then on the second flip, he gets ejected from the cart. This is one of the craziest accidents I have seen by far. It's insane. I am so glad that all the drivers are okay. I am so glad nothing bad happened to the 48. It is crazy of seeing an accident like that. And then I am so glad that the driver is able to get up after the race was over, was finally able to get up and walk away from an incident like this. But it's insane. His legs are straight up and down. I mean, crazy watching that race. It was one of the craziest accidents. Super happy that nobody's hurt at all. All right, for heat number 2, I'm starting on the outside P6. I can move back a position. Right when I see Eric's foot go down, I just gun it. He went for it, let off, and then went for it again, and I was, screw it, we're going now. So the outside lane gets a pretty good start. I'm not going to lie. That was a pretty perfectly timed start on my end. full send mode. I'm right beside Todd, so we're battling it out, and then I just drag, brake, let him inside. Did not want to fight it out. Definitely just want to start pushing away as best we could from the group. This time I actually drop a 2, so like I'm on the same gear ratio as everybody else, which actually felt pretty good. I could tell the difference. Had plenty of top end speed. I was not going to make a move early on James as well. I was going to sit down and push. Now I'm going to go into turn 1 here. I'm not going to blow my apex because I feel like blowing it. I'm blowing it because someone's on my bumper so hard pushing me that I'm on the brakes, and it doesn't matter. They're going to push me through the apex. He was not making a turn. He was using me to make the turn. And then he gives me a little love tap, sends me wide. Hey, that's racing, guys. All right? I don't have an issue with that at all. That was a good move on his end. The issue I have is I hit him, right? Wheel-to-wheel contact, which is hard racing, and I get a penalty. He does it back to me. He doesn't get a penalty. If you're going to hand a penalty out, just do it to everybody. Make the rules the same for everybody. What can I say? It's racing up to a certain point. If you get run off track, and it's not the first time at the event that I get cleared off track and no penalties handed out. So it gets frustrating. But I touch someone and I have 3 to 4 penalties to hand for it. I don't know why, because I'm not wrecking people left and right. But the rest of the race, it was hard racing. I get into a corner. John gets behind me, gives me a little push. I go wide. Then I get behind him, and I look back, and we have a gap, so I'm not really worried about anything happening. I'm not going to catch the pack in front. They were kind of gone, the top 4. So now my quest is to catch James. So I'm going to try to push John up to the front and work with him as much as I can to get to James. So I'm going to push him through, push him forward, and just work with him as much as I could to catch James. Once we end up catching James, I'm trying to think about how I'm going to make my way forward. Most of my moves were going to turn 1. I'll get a good run here at this exit and then go on the inside. He does a really good job defending. I go on the inside, and then he does a really good job holding it on the outside. So we lose some ground back up to James. So now we have to regroup and try to make the pass again. His cart looked a little tight going to his right-hander. Mine just released really well. I got a really good run here. I go back on the inside and then send it on this left-hander. Again, made a good move. It was a really good run. And then the next position is just trying to run James down. Then I was trying to think, how the hell am I going to pass James? It looked like James maybe added a tooth or half a tooth, so the straightaway speed was hurting him a little bit. So I'm going to get him as much as I can on the top end. I make a move here. He does a really good job hanging out on the outside, and then he just holds me off. So now I'm trying to think, where can I pass him, or I need a better run. You can see he drives in deeper than I am, still on these double lefts and the right-hander. So I'm trying to think about where can I set him up to make a good move. Turn 1 is one of the spots I was able to make a move through most of the race. So here I get a really good run out of the right-hander, and I send it back in to turn 1. He sees me. He lets me go. The white flag is up, and this is where I get taken to school, guys. When I mean taken to school, holy crap, what a move he does on me. All I could do was laugh. So I can feel him on my back bumper, and I know he has a little bit more gear out of the corner. I'm trying to defend here. So I take down the bottom lane, and then once we get to his left hand, I see him on the bottom. So I go down to the bottom of the block. He swings it on the outside and sends it around on the outside. What a move. Holy crap. Dude, I was speechless. Honestly, speechless. That's probably one of the best moves I've seen. Kudos to him. Way to go. Holy crap. He took it around the outside. He put those sticky tires on and just pinned it and sent it. I had to give him a thumbs up and a hug after the race for taking me to school. Awesome move. All right, guys. I didn't do a closing video, but here we are doing driver debrief. Miguel is passed out right behind Mikey.
He's up and running.
Miguel's had 3 beers and he's out.
He's up and running.
He did. Hey, he's celebrating because he's not in the LCQ.
Yay!
We by far Matt starting P15.
Yep.
Mikey P28, Will P24,
P23.
P23 for Chris. Dylan, where you starting? In like
Fourth in both classes?
fourth in both classes? Fourth in both classes, Colin, where you starting?
First and light, and then third. First and third, yeah.
First and third. And myself, I'm starting P6. I'm here getting some good driver feedback coaching from probably the two fastest 206 driver in the country.
He said probably because we're an AEM show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like,
By far the two fastest 206 drivers in the country. There's no doubt about it. So try and get as much information I can to make myself faster. I'm happy as hell driving up towards the front. Hopefully we all have a safe day, run up front, and have a good day. So thanks for watching, guys. Wait until the next video. This one was crazy, for sure.